to me. What M-I-M means to me is my old mutt. And I guess I probably got you. You probably thought this would be a tired old story about mothers or myself, but no. It's about my old mutt. We purchased our dog at the Humane Society in Greenville. And I've always been told that the best pets are mutts. And my daughter was volunteering at the Greenville Humane Society at the time. And one day I went to pick her up. And granted, we had talked about getting a dog, but it was like the day before. And so I really wasn't ready for a dog. But she comes out with this little puppy, little black puppy, with white markings on him, and said, "Mom, I think we need this dog." So I looked at him, and he was awfully cute, so I agreed to get the dog. As I was filling out paperwork with the gal at the Humane Society, she said, "Well, I need to divulge one thing to you." She said, "This dog has been adopted before, but they brought him back." And so a little light went on my head. I was thinking, that doesn't sound good. I said, "Well, why was he brought back?" She said, "Well, they said something about they thought he was a full-bred beagle, but he's not." And I said, "Okay." And that should have told me then that this is going to be a special boy. Mm-hmm. We took him home, and as we got him to the vet, and we asked the vet, they said it was a beagle mix. We wanted to know what other thing he was mixed with. And they said, "Well, from his markings on his chest, we think it's probably a border collie."
Ooh.
So, if you have a beagle or a border collie, the mix of that makes a zany combination. One thing with Victor, because he is half beagle, he has a howling problem. He'll howl at everything. He'll howl at cars going past the house. He'll howl at people going past the house. He'll howl really howls when the doorbell rings. He howls when the doorbell rings on the TV. So he howls all the time, and he's like Snoopy on the Peanuts cartoon when you see him howl. He's like, "Woo!" The other half of him, the border collie, I wasn't real familiar with border collies, so I looked up online some of the characteristics of a border collie. And of course, border collies were bred to herd sheep. And we noticed that he does try to herd things in our house, like he'll herd our cat around. He'll also try to herd us to his bowl and his little treats. But one of the other things that he does, or that they said border collies were known for, is they get bored very easily. They have to have a kind of a project going at all times. And from the time we brought Victor home, he has had little projects going of his own. We brought him home, and we brought a little puppy bed for him to sleep in. Well, he decided he would just tear that puppy bed apart. So eventually we just had to throw it away, and it was okay because he was already sleeping with us anyway, so he didn't need his puppy bed. One of the other things, though, his projects were, while we were at work or school, he was outside in his fenced yard, and during the day we had a grill cover of our grill. Well, we noticed every day we get home from work, there'd be less and less of that grill cover. He was eating the grill cover. Not to mention, the first few years, there was no way we could have flowers or vegetables because Victor was not having any of that in his yard. Victor is also an exuberant walker. No matter how many times you take him on walks and practically choke the crap out of him, he still will want to go 90 miles an hour. And you may wonder why we didn't take him to an obedience school or class, but I just kept thinking, Victor and I will get thrown out of the class, or he'd fail, so we never took him. But it is a real experience walking him. At one time, we were living in a neighborhood, and at the time dogs very early in the morning, because when we'd walk with some of the older folks in the neighborhood or walk, he would scare them to death. So we had to walk kind of on our own timetable. Victor is also a connoisseur of sorts, and what I mean by connoisseur is he pretty much eats everything and anything. He's especially fond of lately Twizzlers, Rolaids, of course trash, like any dog, and cat food. As I say, everyone has always told me that mutts are the best. And I do think that it's a good thing to adopt dogs from the Humane Society. It's great. But I'm just not totally convinced that mutts make the best pets. Although, when I come home at night and Victor is wagging that tail and acting like he hadn't seen me for about a year, ready to lick me, and I look at that little black face and his brown eyes, I